Hi. Hey, I'm back. I went to a festival, and now that it's fall, those things are starting to happen around us in some different neighborhoods. I went up to Stallion Springs, which is up in the mountains next to Tehachapi, and it had some great music. We had some really good brought sandwiches and chips and sodas, and Turtle had three snow cones. We had some fun times with our family and everything. And then the community center had a setup of a lot of vendors, and a lot of it was handmade because I'm very much partial and drawn to handmade items because I used to do that myself many years ago. So I always look around and everything, and I always look for the raffles. I love the raffles. Last year I won a gift there, and it was real nice. So I bought all of my tickets, and then I put them in some of the things I liked. There was a couple things I really would have loved to have had, but I won a gift. So my daughter-in-law, who lives in Stallion Springs, went and picked it up for me, and this is Art Designs by Diana. And I won a set of ceramic tile coasters. Each one has a very unique, pretty design, and I love blues and dark pinks and stuff. So every one of them's a little bit different, and I definitely could use these. So that was a real fun event, and we go usually every year. And then I was doing some errands here locally in Bakersfield where I live, and I went by a Centennial High School, and they had a bunch of pop-up tents, and the marching band was out there practicing and everything. And so the marching band was having their fundraiser, and I again hop out of my truck and I go looking around, and I found one booth, and the items that were being made was by a young woman who was blind, and she did have, a couple of family members that did some things. So thinking of Turtle and children, I found this really cool little squishy thing that she made, and I was thinking that Turtle would really like this, or one of my other great grandbabies, which are a year old and a couple of months old. But anyway, they're all squishy, and it's fun. I also bought a wonderful little jar where you put your jar there, and for those of us who have terrible hands, you can open up your pickle jars or jelly jars or whatever. But since I've been out here working on my photos and everything and scanning, I've decided to set my iced tea on top of it. It's nice little crocheted around the edges and everything, and it's kind of a rubbery type. So anyway, so I put my iced tea on that. Well, guess what? I bought tickets for their raffle, and I won again. Can you believe it? This is the second time. I'm so excited. Anyway, so I go up to get my gift, and I won this beautiful, lovely purse. And what really drew me to it was all of the little keychains on here, because I was thinking that, Turtle likes to fidget with things and stuff. And it has a little coin pocket, and it even came with this stylish pair of sunglasses. How about that? That's really cool. But anyway, this was a beautiful little purse, and the designs are from the cards, which is the hearts and the clovers and the diamonds. And it's really got a lot of room in it. It's pretty good size here. So more than likely, you can put a lot of stuff in there. More than likely, this is going to be a birthday gift, or I might give it as a Christmas gift to a friend or a family member. I already have one purse, so I'm trying not to collect too much more stuff. Anyway, so that was my second win, and I had a really good time there. So I don't know if I'll win anything else, but this Saturday we went over to Tehachapi, which again is up by Stallion Springs. It's up in the mountains, and they have their apple festival. and they must have had 100 different booths. And our son and grandsons are in the Boy Scouts, and they had their booth set up, and they were selling apple nachos. And yes, we did go get one, and it was kind of like peanut butter and pretzels and chocolates and all kinds of fun things on it. And it was a fresh, crispy Granny Smith apple. But anyway, so we do like to support our grandsons with the Boy Scouts. Our son said that they had sold out all of their booths, so it definitely was a huge arts and crafts festival, good foods. I had tamale from one vendor, and my husband had tacos, street tacos. And believe me, the tri-tip sandwiches really smelled good, but the line was like really long, so we kind of passed that up. So again, I kind of focus on folks who are doing some handmade things, some things that, you know, some of the art is kind of forgotten. You don't see a lot of it in some craft shows, but so I went, and I know my sister made some of these and she sent me some, but I found another one, and it's yellow on the back and it's lemons inside, so you can do a reversible. And I have this adorable bowl with a lid on it, and I put dip in it during the holidays, or I could probably just put some candies in it, but this is kind of like a little cozy, so I'm thinking cold dip. I'm okay with that. I don't have to do a hot dish. I might even decide to make me some of these. So I got this from one lady, and she was a senior, and she's just trying to supplement her income by making a little extra money. And this is a good way to do that when you go to the little festivals in the fall or Christmas, or even in the springtime. Spring is really a lot of fun. So I went into another booth, and I found this item, and I was first not real sure why it had a flap that was kind of double, and she said it was a pot holder towel to dry your hands with, and that you could just put it over the stove handle, or my cabinets have long handles on them. When I pull out, I could actually do that. And I'm like, well, this is the first time I've ever had anything like this. And the top part of it, believe it or not, is just a pot holder. And she took the pot holder and she sewed the towel to it. I like red because my kitchen is lemons and reds and bright yellows and blues, and my cabinets are all white, so this works. And it's also great for Christmas. So this will be really pretty. This was sewn by Susie, and she was a really nice, sweet lady. She also, too, was a senior, and she does this not just as a hobby, but she also does it to supplement her income also, too. And she said it's been really tough the last couple of years not being able to set up, and she was just really a delightful person, so I'm so happy I met with her. Then I went on, since this was an apple festival, I found another booth, and I really wanted some fresh apples, but unfortunately, California, some areas, we've not had any rain or very little rain, and a lot of the orchards up in Tehachapi said that they've had a dry spell, but they did have some fresh apples, and I wanted to get some, but most of the vendors were taking cash or doing Venmo or whatever, and I only do cash, but I would do credit card, but so saving my cash for the ones who wanted cash only. Some only did the PayPal, Venmo, or something like that, and they were having some internet problems also too. But I went to the booth, and they had the most delicious homemade apple pies and everything, but since I'm watching what I eat, I did not get an apple pie, but I did get some pomegranate jelly, and I'm going to use this for the holidays. I'm going to do it with some nice little crackers, Triscuits, wheat thins, or maybe some of the butter crackers. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it over softened cream cheese and use it as a dip. I don't eat very little of it because it does have a lot of sugar in it, so I might have a taste or two. But this one's pomegranate. This one is also handmade. This is by Grandma's Pantry, and it's made in a home kitchen, and it's got her permit number on it, and issued in the county of Kern, and she lives up in Tehachapi. So again, here's another person who works out of their home trying to supplement their income or make an income. So I got the pomegranate, and of course I had to get one of the favorites of Turtles and my husband. There's nothing better than a homemade biscuit or even a store-bought biscuit with a little apple butter. So I got the apple butter. I definitely wanted the blackberry or a boysenberry or something, and she had already sold out of all of those. They did have some local honey set up, and this one is also made by Grandma's Pantry, so both of these came from her. They had a couple of churches that were doing raffles, and you know me, I'm very much drawn to those booths because I like to support fundraisers or the churches who are trying to make a few extra bucks to send children off to winter camp or even for summer camp. So I did get some tickets and things for some raffles. There was one booth set up that had a couple of big, huge baskets, and a third item was a glass sculpture of a fish, which was a beautiful fish. And then they also had some apple fabric, and there was a quilt. Of course, it wasn't hand done, it was hand sewn, but it was really beautiful. It actually wasn't a quilt, it was probably more like a, maybe just like a lap robe type, or put it over the end of maybe a full size or queen size bed. It was really pretty. Then there was another booth a few doors down. It also was a church, and they probably had about 15 to 18 different items, and of course I bought some tickets for that. So maybe I'll win, maybe I won't win. If I do, you'll have to come back and catch that next video. Anyway, why don't you subscribe, please hit that little bell, and also give me a thumbs up, and please feel free to make a comment. And if you have friends and families that you would like to share with, then I would definitely appreciate that. Again, subscribe and hit that little bell. Give me a thumbs up. Have a great day.